Welcome, everybody. I welcome everybody on this live stream section today, Friday. Am I correct? Yeah, today correct. Alright, so I will the both morning and new viewers and new audience. All right, you have welcome every single person here and now. So you all are all welcome. People that are still joining us, so let's welcome them in advance or welcoming them in advance. All right, guys. So I'm not here to waste your time as usual, and everything, anything we're gonna be talking about today is very, very vital, and is as well is going to just a kind of to pass a very vital knowledge to our young adults or our young students, and it's really going to help them. Just quickly introduce myself. People know me already. My UF graphics by name, and our goal, let's just say our objective is just a kind of uh is the kind of okay is the kind of let's teach our young adult. Okay, now let's start from is the kind of our goal is just like teach our young adults that are out from university that are still in the university what is a kind of everything that was written is just on the line of life after school. You get that? Then under that hand, or let's just say under that note, we are making several topics that has to do with life after school, and topics I still mean in relating to life after school is just like every like just the other aspect of life that one is gonna face, something that nobody's going to, but you're not expected to learn it in school, or school is not even expected to teach you that. So that is what we're covering, and again in it, that's what we're covering is really kind of gonna help, and it has a great part and role to play in the lives of our young adults and lives of our young youths. Because if it's neglected, or let's just say if they feel, or let's just say they're not even talking about it, that is just they're not talking about it. So if we see it as okay, like if we don't see it as something that is or okay, or let's just say something that is not important, is really going to cause more harm than good that is already doing. You get that? So that's just our primary goal, and I'll go again just to see our young adults succeed, our young adults or succeed in other areas of their life. Our young adults, not to see them being stranded, maybe because of they were not pursuing to get up or be employed in all of that. Maybe they happen to be frustrated in life. We don't want to see that, and every effort you're doing here is just to a kind of help actually get, or let's just say to actually hinder that from happening, or let's just restrict that from happening. So that's for, and other than notes, you're making several topics already. You're making vital topics. My God. Okay. At first, maybe I will just a kind of, I don't know. Everybody is wake up. I come or everybody. I'm seeing your message. I'll get to reply you guys. So you can just drop anything. You can drop your name. You can give us a thumbs up. Maybe in any way you find or our teaching helpful. You can just drop anything. We'll get to reply you guys. Alright, guys. So as I said earlier, I appreciate the fact that you joined. So it's not taken for granted. And if you're already seated, grab your seat very tight, because everything I'm saying here, everything I'm going to be communicating is going to be making sense to you, and it's really going to help in directing or creating a path for you. If you're a young adult, if you're a young student, if you're a young youth, so it really relates to you, and you need to know that. Alright, guys. So at first, I will just try saying small thing, or let me just say a bit of what we said yesterday on our last section. That was yesterday. Okay, yesterday afternoon also. Okay, now let's just quickly do that before we get to what we really have to do. I'll just try throwing more light on yesterday's section. Okay, that yesterday we talked about okay emotional intelligence. I don't know. It's just a section like if you check our page now, it's just a stream before this one. So yesterday was emotional intelligence, and we said a lot, guys. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't just know, but it was very, very amazing. Like, people that joined really benefited from it, and it really makes sense. Like, everything we passed, the every knowledge we communicated was actually okay. We stated out a lot of things that has to do with emotional intelligence. Then we are sure or prescribe something like action step they should take if you discover that you're not emotional intelligence, or like, I don't just know, if you just, it's just as at first it's natural, so don't feel left behind, or I don't know, feel bad about it. So what you ought to do is just to check on the stream and get to know the possible things that we stated there that can help you actually get it right when it has to do with emotional intelligence. And other than what we said, we described emotions by your acting, like it's more like innate something, like what drives you, maybe when you're happy, when you're angry, something like that. That's emotions. Like, if it's just more like your state of mind, so you're gonna be acting on it. So that's emotions. And on the note, we said this state of mind and these emotions has caused more harm than good if not controlled, if not managed, and particular for our youth, because we have hot tempered people and everything. All of this is has really caused problem, or let's just say end their career. This also, if okay, as little it looks like emotional intelligence, it can really ruin someone's career, or entire life. That's just the fact. Now, I gave an illustration on the stream, and I said it can ruin someone's career, maybe in the sense of, maybe you got employed in a one big organization like that, and you were paid a very huge money. Get my illustration, I gave it on the last stream there. I now said a co-worker or a colleague offended you or treated you in a bad way that you disliked. Instead of you to report, or a kind of get to contact the authorities, maybe you acted or you reacted from your emotions. You get it? It's just like when you're angry, on that angry stage, maybe you reacted angrily, I don't just know, but something like that. And at last it resulted to maybe conflict or fight or even sabotage, destroying the organization equipment and all of that. At last you were fired. Do you get that? And when you were fired, when you were being fired, and everything collapsed, or let's just say you stop or getting money and being paid, what really caused that was not even the incident. What displayed was emotional control, because had it been you were able to really control that emotions, like, you wouldn't have fall into the victim. Maybe you would have just looked for a possible way to resolve it, or get to report to the authority, or even just to meet the co-worker and be like, bro, I don't like this thing you did to me, and all of that. You guys just try resolving things in common. Do you get that? Instead of reacting or even taking it big, or a kind of doing it more than it looks like. Now, this is how emotions can really call or put one into trouble, or even ruin one's entire career. Do you get that? So, as I said, we said a lot on it already, and if it's really interesting you, just check on the last section stream before this one. So it really makes sense. That's just what I'm trying to say. And what I just did now is just a kind of I just enlighten you on what it's all about. So if you're here and you were not opportune to join yesterday, you can, maybe after this section, you can equally just check it back. All right, guys, enough of that. So let's get to what you have today. All right, guys, I welcome you guys again. Let me just I welcome you guys again, and I'm happy to see you guys. So if you're happy to see me, I'm happy to, if you're not happy to see me, I'm also happy to see you. So let's just leave it like that. Okay, on today's session we have something very, very vital. We have an important topic when it has to do with our young or adult, so, and when it has to do with our young youth. And mind you, today's topic, like, is very, very is very, very short, and maybe if you can comprehend, you can just try. But if you feel like spending something down, because I'm gonna be saying a lot, so you can equally just get something to pen down, or you can, or a kind of cram, or get it to your head. I'm giving you a thumbs up, so that's cool. So let's just get started. Okay, at first, what you have today is power of consistency versus, or let's just say, power of consistency over power of talent. Let me clean my face first. All right, guys, so I said what you have today is power of consistency versus power of talent. Now, you can say power of consistency over power of talent. I think that's what you have on our thumbnail. So let's just go with that. Power of consistency over power of talent. Hmm, this is cool. I don't just know, but I'm going to really say a lot. Like a lot is on my head to dish out, and I bet you that you listening, you're going to gain a lot, and you're going to really improve when it has to do with like you different when it has to do with power of consistency. And I'm seeing your comments, I'm seeing everything. All right, guys. So I'll reply to your messages. Okay, guys. So that's for that. Okay, 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 guys. Let me just continue. All right, I wanted to reply, but let me continue. Let me not be distracted. You get that? So, but I'm seeing your messages, and I'll get to reply you guys. All right, guys. So let's just proceed. So I said what we have today is power of consistency over power of talent. Let me bring it down. Okay, at first we're going to define power. Power. We're gonna define power. That's number one. We're gonna define power of consistency. We're going to define consistency. Then we're going to define power of talent. That's cool. And as I said, everything I'm saying here, it relates to students. Now we're gonna define this, and we're going to relate it to adulthood, or let's just say young adults, and how it can equally help. Do you get that? So that's just everything we're saying. All right, guys. So let's just quickly start. Okay, at first, if we were to say what's power, okay, I don't know, let me just be okay. I'm going to define this like this line. I'm going to just be plain and very very kind of simple. Okay, power is just, let's say, is normally being referred be referred as supernatural something. Like when you say power, or when we hear about power, what comes to our mind, what comes to like, just normally what comes to our mind is supernatural something, something beyond human. Like not every human has power, that kind of a thing. Now that we can just say that is power. Now when it has to do with consistency, remind you we were talking about power of consistency over power of talent. Now I said power is more like supernatural something, natural something. Most at times is inherited and all of that. So it's not more like easy something that one can just get. So I don't have power, so I don't know whether you have one. So that's just what I'm saying here. Alright, so talent. Talent is more like natural gifts. If okay, I don't know. It's okay. I've seen, or you have equally see somebody that can actually, or let's say, naturally do something in a way up and in a more appropriate way and in a better way. You be like, you did not learn it anywhere. Okay, the person will be like, I did not learn it anywhere, I did not do this one. That's more like talent. Do you get that? So talent is more like natural something, like natural ability. Let's just kind, I get it now. It's okay, let's see talent as natural ability. Do you get that? Natural ability in the sense of is natural, most of the times is inbuilt, and is not, you can equally get to do that thing easily, or let's just say better than everybody around, even without you learning it. So it's more like talent. Okay, that's for that. And when it has to do with power of talent, okay, I said power of talent. Okay, what I just did now, power of talent versus power of consistency, and I tried defining power of talent. Okay, that's what I said. Now if we're talking about power of consistency, now as I said, power is more like supernatural something, or let's just say, I don't know, just get any view of power you want to. Okay, let's just continue, let's just proceed. So if power of consistency, now we just said power, now consistency is just like more like repeated something, like daily something, more like routine, more like active, like always something daily and active always. All these things are just keywords to get, or let's just say to communicate somebody. If we're talking about consistency in this sense, now we can just see consistency is more like the ability, or the capacity, or let's just the confidence, or all of those things. That's one, like that keeps on going even when the one is not seeing the result immediately, that keeps on going even when nobody is sharing the person up, that keeps on going even when the person is tired and feel like quitting, but he or she is gonna keep pushing. So it's gonna see as a consistency stage, or let's just say just that act, the act, that display, or that exhibition, it can be seen as consistency. Now that's for that. And if we were to combine it, or let's just say if we were to merge it up, Okay, okay, we have merging it, like we have the I don't know, the kind of detailed down or merging. So what I just did now, I just defined power of talent and power of consistency. And let me ask you this simple question. I don't think, okay, let me now show it to you. Actually, you would have maybe in one of the, I don't know, in one occasion or like that, you have seen somebody that actually someone that is very, very talented and maybe that has failed. Talented people used to fail. Now I'm going to tell you the reason why they fail and what caused their failure at first. It's just like a student that understand maths easily. I'm just coming from a view. I want to help you get where I'm coming from. Now I'm talking about talent here. I said most at times what lead me to this is I said most at times talented people fail more than average people, let's just say more than disciplined people. And I said I'm going to give you the reason and tell you why. And on that note, I said they fail because they are seeing themselves as talented, like they are talented. And it's just okay. Now let me just give you an illustration so that you get it. It's just like two students. Okay, student A, okay, now let me use alphabet. Student A is talented and student B is just an average student. Is he or she is not talented, and maybe during the process, okay, student A or the talented student reads maybe goes to exam, or let's just say he or she crams maybe during exam, and all of this because he's talented, he can actually perform well more than everybody. So that state of mind or that belief is going to make that person feel reluctant and or like or pursue his or her goals or even fail to practice. Do you get that? Now, student B, I'm just going to give you an illustration why on how a talented student or a talented audience can actually fail. And on that note, I'm saying I'm bringing two students and I'm using alphabet to illustrate it. So and on that note, I said student A is talented and he or she doesn't study. Like he or she maybe during exam he or she will cram and maybe all of that. Like he or she normally read late hour like 9 minutes, safe to say so. Now student B, he or she is not talented oh, let me now say open brain, that kind of a thing, but he or she practice daily, he or she reads 1 hour daily and all of that. Now if we were to ask during exam or after exam who is going to perform more, the truth of the matter is student B is perform or more than student A. Now what's the simple truth there? Simple is because it's just more like process something. He or she has been like he or she has been built in the stuff that daily 1 hour that he or she is donating for reading. It is gonna create what's it called a greater result than the person that has talent that normally reads maybe 9 minutes or that crams maybe when exam is about to start up. Do you get that? So actually the person that donates 1 hour then is going to outperform the other person. That's just the fact. So this is how and a practical step on how a talented student or a talented youth adult can equally feel. So they are going to start, as I at first I said, they are going to feel, they are going to have this boldness and all of that. They are talented, they can do it. So they are going to feel reluctant. They are not even going to be practicing. They are not going to be cracking more to know more and all of that. So all of this is what brings them down. So as they said, talent, okay, they said hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. I don't know whether you get that word. Hard work beats talent if talent fails to work hard. That's just the fact. If you're talented and you're not performing or like you're not practicing, you're not cracking more, like you're not activating it more, somebody that is not talented that works hard beats you like on that skill or on that note. That's just the fact. So that's for that guys. So what I just said or is just a kind of, I try giving you a typical example of how a talented student, talented audience so can equally fail even with your potential, even with your natural ability. Do you get that? So that's what we hope and wish for our Nigerian student and all students here. Alright guys, so let's just get to the deep matter. At first, under that note, we have what is talent. Now, I'm going to just rush it, a kind of simple definition. At first, we can just say talent is more like a natural ability that one or discovered, or like, okay, natural ability in the sense of maybe others are practicing on how to sing, others are stressing their voice to draw music. I don't know, I don't just know, but just get where I'm trying to say. To draw, or let's just, I don't know, like if you're singing now, you're going to be like, oh, I don't know, make I do big jest of myself, but that you get. So it's more like you're going to draw the music. Most people is going to get to their throat, and their throat to start paining them. Maybe you discover that you can actually draw music easily, longer than those people. Do you get this now? So it's more like talent. Like some things that people practice, or let's just say study, or even say don't get easily, you're going to be getting it. So it's not like a natural something. So if you discover this, that's actually cool, but it's not requisite, it's not necessary, or like it's not good to just stand, or let's just say to just hope on that without further performance, or let's just say without further pressing on. Do you get that? So that's not good to just rely on it alone, because when you fail to, or just like if you're talented, you're not going to be doing that. You just feel that whenever you, okay, just like people that are singing, okay, the person that is not talented, that he or her throat is paining, is singing daily and practicing. Now you that feels that you're talented, you don't sing at all, maybe once in a month, that person that is practicing daily is going to beat you, that is talented. There will be a time when that person can even draw and overdraw song more than you. That's just the fact. Just get my illustration so you actually get what I'm trying to talk. So on that note, that is what a kind of consistency, like how it can actually be talent. So at first we said what is talent, and we try saying that talent is like a gifted, if you say someone is talented, it's more like you have some ability that is natural, that people don't, or like just some ability that, or let us, you can do some certain things that people cannot just do easily, or get done easily, or even with the minimum or short time that you can do it. So it can be seen as talent. And at okay, let's just give some examples. Now if you're relating this talent to school, it's just more like when a student understand a particular subject easily or faster than everybody. When you can understand maths or mathematics, I mean to say, or let's just when you can understand other subjects that people are finding hard to get, and you're scoring better, everybody will be like, oh Jesus, I wish I could be like this. So that thing is more like talented, or it's more like talent, gifted. If you're referring talent, it's just more like gifted, like you're gifted. It's more like just more like a free gift, a free ability. Let me say from God, because we all created by God. So let's just say it's a free gift, free ability from God. Do you get that? So it can, that's, we call it talent. And again, what is consistency? Remind you, you're getting into the body of the topic. Like the subheading is power of consistency over talent. Another is of discuss some brief or stuff, and you will still say things. And what you just said before now is what is talent, and that is just what we discussed. And again, you're asking what is consistency. Okay, now let me ask you first. I don't know. On your view now, tell me now, what is consistency? Like if someone should ask, or let's just, if you feel, I don't just know, if a question if this question is being shown to you, or shown for you, what is consistency, what comes to your mind? Like what will you start feeling, or let's just say what, like what we just like, what exactly is going to come to your mind? Okay, now let me just quickly say something like free, or if we were to ask, let's just say a common view, or let's just say a simple definition that any students can commonly give is consistency is more like repeated something, repeated action, daily something or routine, something you keep on with daily, even when things is harder, even when things is easier. Like sun or rain, in Nigeria we will tell you sun or rain. Even when sun or rain, that kind of a thing, that means even when things is better and when things is hard, so you're going to stick on it, you're going to be on it, you're going to persist, press more on it. So it can be referred or seen as consistency. Now under that note, and we said consistency when being for a while, like if you're on it for a while and you do a lot of things, like okay, we said consistency is more like results oriented, while talent is more like potential. Do you get that? So there is a sense uh your potential or your gifts open doors, but what keeps you going, what keeps you striving, what keeps you creating or getting more results is consistency. Do you get that? So consistency is more like results oriented, while talent is more like potential oriented. So get that from that view. So you, if you're talented as a student, that's not enough, so you are to add, or you ought to add consistency, because that actual the key engine, or let's just say what powers that talent to actually perform excellently well. So that's for that guy. So under that note as well, we have real life student examples. Now you're going to be okay, this is real life student examples when it has to do with consistency and power of potential. So if we were to talk about real life student examples, so at first we said academic performance, and we said okay, I think I've touched something like that already. Let me just say that for the for the this for the for the sake of what I'm just what for the sake of just this topic here, which is academic performance. Now I said if student A is talented, student B is not talented, and student A is reading once in a month, or let's just say student A is reading 10 hours in a week, and student B is reading daily 1 hour in a week. Now remind you, the accumulate, if they should add those hours together for student A, remind you student A is equally reading 10 hours but in one day. Sorry guys, because he or she has talent, he or she is talented, he or she can equally do that. So he or she is reading 10 hours in one day. Get my point. Now student B is reading daily, donating 1 hour every single day. If we was to shake it from this view now, even the talented ones or accumulated hour is even bigger, as moreover the other person is 7 hours. So sorry guys, that was my network. So even at the person that is talented is stopping with hours, but even at that, because even at that he equally feel, or the other person can equally outperform him or her. What's the reason there? Because of consistency, daily routine. Like it's more like something that builds your need daily. So that dailiness, or let's just say that everydayness, something that is a kind of powering and equipping, getting it more competent and ready to get that. So you cannot equate it, or you cannot somebody that is doing something monthly or yearly or even stuff like that. So that's just for that, and that is how or consistency can beat talent. That's just the truth. Okay, on that note as well, we have another thing. Okay, we said skill development. Now let's just give a simple illustration on skill development, on how consistency in skill can only be talent in skill. Okay, now I don't know, I'm going to use myself for example here. I'm going to use myself for example here. Now I'm going to use myself for example. Let me explain. Talented, I will tell you the truth. I was not talented, not in any way. Now not in any way I mean here is okay, equally, let me just say this, I don't know, but that's it. When I started, I don't even can, like I cannot handle mouse. Let me just see that I cannot handle, I cannot most of that I don't I don't know. I cannot on a system and all of that. But today I'm a very good graphic designer and I can do awesome works with system, with laptop, with desktop, with phone. Do you get that? Now what earned me this result, or let's just say what earned me this or let's just say what helps me is more like consistency. Now, do you get that? So this is not talent because I wasn't born to it. I wasn't born having those knowledge and those skill. Do you get that? So on that note, I can equally perform, I can equally outperform more than somebody that his or her generation has been designing since. Maybe the person when he or she was giving birth to can equally do small design, and he or she just feel that since is a like a kind of heritage he or she inherited designing. I don't just know, I'm just putting it that way. He or she had designing ability, so he or she is not going to strive more, learn new skills, and or let's just say equip him or herself. Now that I'm good, okay, now let me just say I'm small good, I can equally do better than that person. Now remind you that person is talented, I'm not talented. What keeps me, or what stopped me, or let's say what made me to top such person is just daily activity, consistency, routine, like more like repeated something. Do you get that? So that's just for that. And what we're just discussing is okay, what is okay, skill development, and you said consistency was related to with skill development. I just use myself an illustration, outside illustration as well. Like just like two people learning a skill. Okay, let's just say two people. Okay, this is a something highlighted now. Two people learn how to speak confidently. Let's use that's a very very good example to give. Two people learning how to speak confident, and the other person has the skill already. Okay, let's say student A or adult A has the skill already, and he or she is not bothered because he or she possess, let's say, a lot of the skill. He or she can speak comfortably, or he or she feels that he can speak comfortably and defend him or herself like in any way. Moreover, student B or adult B can't speak confident, cannot even get things done, like when it has to do with representing someone. So he or she maybe is daily practicing daily on herself or himself out the problem, getting to do things in a more appropriate way. Let me show you that that would then be that is practicing daily, getting equipped daily, getting ready daily, practicing and getting him or like getting errors and being corrected in some certain things can equally outperform more than the talented person. That's just the truth, and that's factual. Like he or she can equally outperform the other person. So in the sense of maybe after few months or after few years of that daily let's say 2 hours or anytime, just anything or let's just anything that he or she is donating daily can equally going to get more than talented one. So that just for it, if we were to relate it with or that development skill, like skill development, then content creation. I don't just know, but this one is more like common, and I hope you get it better with this illustration. Now if you talk about content creation and when you have to do with talent and consistency on it, if you were to bring it in on that note, okay guys, we will just say that okay, let me the illustration I'm giving here, like when a talented person, when okay, if you're talented you can only make people laugh, you can equally make people laugh when you talk million, and you're a content creator and you're a content can not even crack juice and all of that, but he or she is going to be practicing, be posting daily and all of that. Now if you were to ask men looking at it, if you were to ask who is going to grow faster, who is going to get more engagement, who is going to get visibility faster, the answer is simple. The non-talented comedian. Fact. That's just factual. That's just it. Because why? He or she is posting daily, he or she is showing up daily, he or she just like daily something great or builds visibility, and visibility builds growth. So when he or she is coming up, coming out, showing up daily, people, different audience is going to be seen and trying to engage you. Moreover, you that is talented, that can make millions of people laugh within 1 hour, is posting monthly. Do you get? I'm just trying to illustrate, to give you a picture understanding of how talent can equally build beat how consistency can equally build talent. That's just subheading. And under that note, you're saying some things like you're kind of detailing it down. So and hope young adults and youth will get what we're just trying to say. And everything we're saying here is just pointing that, or let's just say just pointing hand on uh getting be like just our youth getting to be consistent in whatever they are doing, irrespective of or how you see it. Even if you see it easy or hard, like more of that, if you feel that you're talented, you can equally do, that is not enough to ride on. So you're more like to put consistency to attach it to that. So that's just our emphasis, and that is what this the whole talk that we're doing here is trying to communicate. So that's for that. And okay, the last, okay, I say content creation. Okay, the person that gets visibility more is the person that's showing up daily and creating, posting daily. Factual. All right, guys. So okay, why talent alone fails? Now, okay, at first I'm going to tell you, I have already said a bit something and how talent can fail. And under this note, talent can fail because of pride. I'm going to explain in details as well. Talent can fail because of pride. Talent can fail because of he or she feels that he or she can do it more. Talent can fail because that's possibly reluctant, not concerned. Moreover, I can do it. So all these talent can fail because of non consistent practice, non daily, like not practice, not activating it. So these are just a pride in the sense of you're going to feel reluctant, less concerned. Actually, I can do it. Moreover, I can do it. I can perform more than that person that is practicing daily. Why should I practice daily? So these are just pride. Like all these are equipment or tools that can kill talent. Or let us see, yes, okay, it can, okay, why talent fails, these are equipment that can equally make talent fail. So it now looks like, I don't just know, but it's very, very alarming. Or let's just say it's more like wasted effort and wasted resources. So you're gifted, so you're to more, or you're more like to equip it, grind it more, like get to master it, skill, be skilled on it. So that's just more like that. So guys, our emphasis on that matter is just that all our talented youths, we know that you people are talented, but attach consistency to whatever you're doing as an adult, as a student. If you're studying, practice consistency. If you're learning skill, do that equally. And if you're learning a new anything you're doing, that's just the saying, be consistent and press more. All right, guys. So I hope you get that. So under that as well, we have, okay, why consistency wins long term. Now, as we said, firstly, we said consistency is more like results oriented, while talent is more like potential oriented. Do you get that? Now, and on the note you're saying why consistency wins long term. And first, remind you, let me just remind you, a quick reminder. Consistency is more like I don't know, but the truth is that it's hard. So is more like a determined student, determined adult, determined youth can actually press on. It's hard equally. Everybody knows that it's hard. It's not easy. That's just the fact. But you're to press more. Now, on that note, we said why, okay, why consistency wins or long term. Now it wins long term in the sense of it's more like after results. It doesn't, the result doesn't come immediately. It's just more like, okay, when you're practicing how to sing, okay, now let me just use a typical example. When you're gymming, when you if okay, now let me still use myself, just like me, I don't know, I don't have muscles, I don't have muscles. Now if I'm to start up a kind of gymming, I don't think even with after 2 3 days, 5 days, that anything can show. Like I doubt that my muscles or like my this nothing will show at all. But when I keep practicing it, when I keep gymming up to like 3 4 months, 5 6 months, it's gonna show. That's just it. So it's more like consistent something. It's a kind of letter result. Now, as I said, it's more like the matter we're talking about is, okay, it's more like okay, it means long term. So it's more like long term results, long term earning, or long term gaining. So long term gaining, if we was to refer it as, or on the illustration we give, it's just like that 3 5 months. So it's more like long term. I'm going to see my strength, I'm going to get muscles, I'm going to get my body parts. Do you get that? So it's more like long term because it takes time. So that's consistency. It's more like long term results. So the result doesn't come immediately, it doesn't come fast, it doesn't come as it dey hot like immediately. That's just what I'm trying to say. So it's more like a long term result. So if is very rare to see young adult and young youth or that still want long term results, but that's what consistency gives you because it doesn't create quick or fast results. Like it's more like process. So and he said that no one can beat process. So it's more like process something, and it's very very legit, or let's just say sure. That's just it. That's one thing about consistency. A result is very sure and it's more like result oriented, but long time it's just more like long term something or long term game, long term game. So that's for that, guys. Alright guys, so still on that note, okay, the law of small daily improvement. Oh my god, I love this law. I'm going to make a tutorial, full body tutorial on the law of daily improvement. But that's by the way, if we were to bring it to how it can equally help our young adults and our young students and our upcoming adults daily. Okay, that's okay. I've forgotten the law of small daily improvement. Now is a law. Is a law in the sense of it's daily. That daily is there is the law. The law guiding it is daily something, routine, often, repeatedly. Do you get that? So that's why it's a law. So if you violate it, if you fail not to repeat it daily, if you fail not to be commit it to more like routine something, you have violated the law. So the law there is more like daily. Daily, okay, law, okay, that's the law of daily routine. So the law there, as we said, is the daily there. And is okay, if we were to illustrate it, or if we were even to give an illustration, it's more like a student that is investing 1 hour daily reading, and a student that is still giving 10 hours daily, sorry, no, 10 hours in 1 month reading, or 10 hours in 1 week reading. The person that donates 1 hour daily, if was to accumulate it, is 365 hours in a year. It creates more result. Like as we said, it's result oriented because it's consistent. So that is the power of consistency. It's more like result oriented, and the result is sure, as I previously said. And we said the okay, the law of small daily improvement. Now that law is the daily, and the improvement is that daily exercise, that daily acting, that daily involvement, that daily cracking and pressing more. So that's the improvement actually. So if you're not that pressing more, if you're not that daily showing up, so or that improvement is not gonna show. That just it, and that is just it, guys. So on that note as well, we say something. Okay, consistency build confidence. Consistency build confidence. I'm going to explain. I'm still going to use school for instance. It's just more like a student that read, practice and exercise, do some assessment, than a student that feels that he or she is talented maybe a day before exam, he or she is going to cram the whole library and cram the whole library and all of that. Now the person that is consistent, that have been reading over since resumption and all of that, is going to outperform more than or the other person that is talented, that can read 2 libraries within 1 hour. That's just the fact, and he or she is going to perform more efficient and gain more results because why? He or she is consistent and practicing daily. Moreover, the other person that is more like not actually doing daily, not actually being ready and getting engaged in the daily activity, is going to perform low. That is how talented people can easily fail, or they can easily gain low performance. And again, it's just more like two people, or let's just say maybe during our secondary school time. Let me use myself for instance. I I will not I don't know, let me just be plain. maybe when I was still in secondary school, I was not too good though. Let me just put it that way. I wasn't too good, and maybe in some things actually, but now I can equally do some things more perfectly well than those people that beat me then in secondary school. That's just the fact. Now, what caused it or leisure, what resulted to that is consistently daily routine. Now, maybe then they were talented. No, they were just talented, but they didn't attach it consistency. Like they just relax, feel reluctant, and not, or let's just say, don't see the necessity of pressing more, even to equip themselves more on that. So someone that is consistent can beat such person. So it's more like when we perform low, okay, just like more like people that a student that is getting low result, low grades back then in secondary school, but he or she keeps reading and studying. Moreover, the other person that gets the finest result and all of that feel reluctant maybe when he or she enters university, and he or she feels that that same hand that she can equally pass well. But the person that is having a kind of average grade and low grades he keeps consistent and practicing daily, that's sure he or she is going to equally outperform the other person. That's just the two different, and this is what we need to open our adults, our young students, their eyes to see this, because they are not even seeing it. They are not thinking or lectures, they are not considering it that way, or they don't even feel that it's important, or even like it have what they just know is that I'm talented, but this is just the actual results of being talented and consistency minded person or minded student. So that's it, guys. So it's a consistency during hard times. Consistency during hard times is the actual building. That's the actual growth. Now it's just more like when you're still pressing, when you're still pushing on, even when nobody is there to support you, even when nobody is there to share you up, even when the resources are not there, even when you're down, even when you're happy, even when you're not feeling like it, you're still going to put on, like you're going to push or you're going to show up. That is more like consistency during hard times. And it is said that that's where the actual result comes in, that's where the actual growth happen, that's where the actual outcome, or let's just say actual benefit comes in, because on that note, on that stage, on that moment, on that particular given time, I don't just know, like there is going to be a great gain during that hard time when you're consistent. That's just a fact. That's nature and cannot beat nature. So that is it, guys. Under that note, I think it's the okay. Second to the last one. Developed results. Consistency developed results. Now that's what we said. We said consistency is more like result oriented, and it's more like process something, because and it's more like long term gain or long term results. Why? Because the result doesn't come immediately, and if you're a quick person, you're going to miss it, you're going to fail, like you're going to fall. That's just it. Like you're when you're expecting it quickly, faster, and all of that, you're not seeing, you're going to just easily quit up, easily stop. So it's consistent is more like quietly results or slowly results oriented. And we said as well that the result is sure, but it takes time, it's a kind of process. So and if you keep to it, you're going to really gain, you're going to really outrun, you're going to really outperform people that feels or think that they are talented. That's just the actual truth, and that is just facts, and that is what will actually happen. All right, guys. So okay, we said okay. What we just try explaining now is why delay result. Okay, why consistency is delay in result. Now we said is delay in result because it's more like long term something. It's more like long term something, and it's more like future oriented result, something like that. So is a kind of result oriented. Remind you, talent is more like potential oriented, while consistency is result oriented. So this is just the different thing there. And why is the result doesn't come immediately or is always delaying, just because it's more like process something. That's just what I said. And you know what is process now? Process takes time. Process is what keeps you, like what builds you, and it's more like gradual something. just more like 1 2 3, like step by step, bit by bit. So that can just be seen as process, and that is why consistency is more like delay results. So, and as well, we encourage our students by telling them the result is sure and they are actually gonna gain that. Alright guys, so on that note, I think the last one, I think so, okay, this is just more like practical stuff, action stuff. Practical stuff students can apply. Action step, this is action step. Mind you, the body of our this thing is power of consis ten cy over power of talent, and we are more like ending, and what we the body of what we have lacks is practical stuff. It's more like action stuff. Now if you're a student, if you're a young adult, if you're a young person, and everything we've been saying here, you're a victim. Sorry guys, you're a victim in the sense of like you feel, or like you're actually a talented person but you're not equally doing, you're not actually activating, you're not equally performing, or you are not talented but you're equally adapt the way of or consistency, but you did not, or like you feel that the result isn't coming and you quitted or all of that, and over here and over now you're feeling somehow or anything, I don't just know, but this is more like action stop. So we're on this guide. This guide we're about to start mentioning is more like something that is going to put you in line, put you on track, put you going, put you like, it's more like when you are from track, here we're gonna put you in track. So that's just more like practical stuff students can apply, more like action stuff. So what are these action stuffs that you can apply and be consistent again, even with your talent, so that you can create or gain more efficient results. Alright, so it's more like create a daily routine. Now what's routine? Routine is like daily something, your daily activity that you don't miss, just like you. I don't know, okay now let me not say it for you, I don't know, okay now let's use some people. Just like some people, their own is eating, no day can pass without eating. So it's more like routine, and it's just more like brushing, and like all, it's just more like important things. So it's more like routine, and it's said to be what you cannot do without. Like, okay now let me not say what you cannot do without, what you do daily, daily activity, that can be seen as routine. Okay, actually if you take something routine repeatedly, you, that's consis actually, and you can equally fix yourself back or get back to the tracks if you happen to miss it already. So that's just the that. Then study at fixed hour. Now just like I said, a student studying, donating 1 hour daily, and a student reading 10 hours in a month or in a week, the other person daily routine student is outperforming more than the other person. That's just the fact. Now what's the reason? Because he or she is doing daily something, and we say daily is more like process, and it gets you ready daily. It's more like you're making mistakes, you're getting corrected, and you're figuring out in a better ways and a more appropriate way to do that. So it's more like something that is bringing out best to you. So it's more like something that creates or brings out best, or let's just say innate, I don't know, next version, let me just say next version of yourself, like on that particular thing. So it's more like something that brings and search for more best, more you in you. Let's just say that. So that's for that. That's for okay. That's for study at fixed time. Now another one that follows is practice your skill weekly. Okay, practicing your skill just more like someone that is learning to sing. You're not going to be singing once in a month, once in a year, once in 6 months because you're a talented person. I don't just know. It's just more like active something. You need to be practicalizing, like activity, like being active, routine, doing it daily something. Do you get that? So and here we are saying weekly, we're not even saying daily. Just and a good example of that is just like singing. If you're a public speaker, like if you're learning to speak, if you're learning to sing, all of that, at least weekly is okay, and get to do practice. That's just what we're trying to say on this note. And again we said track progress. Track progress. Now track progress is when you're under the action step, when you create a routine, when you're when you fix a particular hour on that, and you're doing or practicing that skill weekly. Now you're gonna track progress. Tracking progress is just like evaluating your progress, evaluating your performance so far. checking your gains, like checking what you've actually earned um during those periods of time, like your abilities and all of that, just like your confidence in speaking. You're going to see or check, or even someone will be like, you're more confident now than 2 3 weeks ago, you can speak fluently and all of that. So it's more like tracking progress. And maybe I'll add on by saying evaluating progress. So it's both of them, is just can equally work hand to hand. Then reduce distraction. Now distraction, this is very serious issue, and it has really affected our youth. It has drive them to do silly and crazy things, and it has really caused more harm than good. Now why? Or let me explain. Distraction is very powerful. Now distraction has power, let me tell you. Now it has power. Me that doesn't have power, distraction has power. Now on that note, you're saying reduce distraction. It can be friends, it can be environment, it can be what you get yourself into, it can be a condition, like it can just be anything. Anything can cause distraction. So or let's just say the best thing to you, or let's just say the best advice to give to you is just to get a rid of it. You get that? You just like get yourself isolated, get yourself exclude, detached from that particular distraction. You know it, I don't know it, so my distraction may not be your own. So it's just more like something that is individual. You know your distraction, and you're saying here to reduce or even get it red entirely. So that's for that. And again, focus on long term growth. Now everything is more like, or let's just say something, anything that gains you, or let's just say anything that gives results is more like long term growth. And all right guys, this is my god. I'm seeing your message. Keep dropping, keep dropping, keep dropping. I'll get to reply you guys. So I'll get to reply you guys. All right. Boss work more like rounding up. I don't know. Okay. So, but you can drop anything. You can equally drop anything. UF we get to reply you. And we are okay. We said on the last one, focus on long term growth, and consistency is more like long-term growth, result-oriented facts. It must create or yield result, but it's long-term process, something that takes time. And we said during the process of time, you get acquainted with competence, get skilled on it, strong, all of that. On the process side, and uh, and they try like I don't know, on the process side, on the growth area, on the growth process. So it's more like growth, and we are telling young adults or young students or adults to start adapting to long-term growth, because it's it gains. So it's more like something that pays and gains, and it's sure. It's not more like quick something, because quick something actually can still finish. More like quick something can actually fade out quickly. So to go for what you want, and it's more like go for let me see what you want. All right guys, so we have just two notables, so one of the notables, talent may start the race, but consistency finished it. Now how talent can start up the race, consistency finish it. Now talent can start up the race because why, or let's just how, maybe you just discover that you can sing, you can equally solve maths, you can equally do a particular thing more than people, more than, or you see you find it simple or easily more than how people are seeing it, or giving it to people. That maybe when you can solve maths very well, perfectly well in a short period, and nobody can equally do that. Now it doesn't give you a room to kind of boost or brag on that, to attach consistency, like keep it driving, like bring it into the ball or to the matter, introduce consistency to that talent, so that it's gonna create massive and more efficient results. So the best thing that every student under that condition should start or should adapt to get into the matter consistency, bring it into that, and it's going to explode. Like, it's going to really gain more results. So we said again, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work. Actual, and this is very, like, this is a very factual statement. Now, when you're talented, you're not doing anything about it, you're not equipping, you're not pushing, you're not striving more on it, you're not getting to get rid of outdated thing on that talent, and get to adapt to new things or learn new things on it. You're really okay. Hard work, somebody that is working hard on that note or on that skill is going to beat you, is going to outperform you. That's just the fact. He's going to outperform you because he or she is working hard, he or she is donating 2 3 hours daily, he or she is equipping daily, he or she is getting ready daily. Now, you that is not doing anything about it, that is not feeling or getting to do things on it, you're going to be left out. He or she is going to outperform you. That's just the fact. I don't know, but that's it. And that's not all. I just pray, or let's just say, I just advise, or let's just say, or teach out to you to actually get rid of quick something, and maybe adapt to long term process and consistency, and introduce consistency to maybe the last word. Or let me just drop this. If you're a young adult, introduce consistency to your routine, introduce consistency to your talents, introduce consistency to anything around you. Is going to blow, going to create more efficient results and all that. So we are more like, if you're maybe just considering giving us, and you subscribe to our channel, are you waiting for, and maybe drop any, and drop any topic, and maybe any question, we are ready to reply and get to answer your. At the moment, we're gonna go offline. That's by name. Try following us on other social media handles. On YouTube, we have Instagram, you have graphics. On TikTok, you have graphics. On Facebook, sorry, you have graphics. So you can only check that social media handles. Follow us. Alright, guys. So that's for that, and I appreciate the fact, and you easy. I really, do not take it for granted, do not take it for granted. And at the point in time and moment you're going to plan, so check us back by 12, and we're gonna be happy to see, and we're going to also treat a very vital topic tomorrow that you're not and miss. I won't want to uh I won't want to miss. Alright, guys, so please share links to your friends, students you feel, or you actually need them to hear all of this that we're saying, because it's more like 80% of their life or skill and life or way, that school is not treating, school is not teaching, school is more like result certificate oriented, keeping them how to read and write. Moreover, life story is more like broad, and nobody's talking about this. And if we neglect it, it's already causing more harm. And if we should keep on keeping quiet, not exposing, not letting them know about this, to cause more harm than good. So that's just the essence of our streams and sections strictly on these matters. Alright, guys, see you tomorrow. Check. Peace, loves you.